Welcome back, everyone. This video is just going to be an upgrade on my shoulder issue. So I've mentioned that I hurt my shoulder in December, and for about 4 months I avoided any kind of pull-up exercises and overhead exercises like shoulder presses. And then about a week ago, I started feeling pretty decent, so I decided to try pull-ups again for the first time. I had a video on that, so this is kind of a follow-up. And the pull-ups went okay, but afterwards I had popping in my shoulder, which I didn't have before. Now there isn't really pain. I mean, I still have pain on overhead presses, but there's no pain in the pop, but it just feels a bit unnatural when you feel like this tightness, and it feels like something is shifting around the joint when I laterally raise my arms, specifically at certain angles or reaching forward. The pop's not always there, but it happens enough that it's bothering me. So I'm doing some research online, looking at the symptoms of what I had originally when I hurt my shoulder, the range of motion limitations and pains I had, and how it's healed. And what I still have, I feel fairly confident that what I have is tendonitis or some kind of inflammation in my subscapularis. Because if it's not that, then it's going to be some kind of impingement or tear, which I think I would have some different symptoms for it, more pain, and that'd be bad news. I live in America. Healthcare is really expensive. I don't really want to go see a doctor unless I really have to. So right now, there's just that little pop. There's no real pain. So I think it's tendonitis. So what I'm doing is I'm still avoiding the pull-ups again, still avoiding overhead presses because I did try an overhead press and that didn't go well. But really specifically what I'm doing is I'm going to try to strengthen the subscapularis. So this video is going to really just go over the exercises I'm doing for that. So the subscapularis is one of your rotator cuff muscles, and its function is internal rotation. So what that means, it's just rotating your forearm or rotating your upper arm in towards your body. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to do resistance in opposite direction. So that seems pretty straightforward, and usually people do their internal rotations against their body like this, which is fine. I will do that as well, but I'm going to add a couple of variations to this that I'm going to go over with you in this video. Now for these, what I'll be using will be resistance bands, and a little trick I have my resistance bands because sometimes I can't remember which color is lighter and which color is heavier. I look at the thicknesses, some are pretty similar, so I just used some painter's blue tape, wrapped it on there, and wrote a number. So I have 1 to 5 from lightest to heaviest, and that's just a little trick I use to keep track of the bands. But now let's get into the exercises I'm doing to help strengthen my subscapularis. So as mentioned before, the function of subscapularis is internal rotation, right? Which is, like I said, just rotating that upper arm around towards your belly button from the outside. So if I'm moving this way, I want the resistance going that way. So I'm going to get my resistance band here. And since what we're going to be rotating around here is our elbow, I'm going to set this up right at forearm height. And from there, we're just going to start in this position, externally rotated position. And I'm just going to keep your elbow locked in place as much as you can. And really think about just rotating your humerus, which is your upper arm, to rotate that elbow in towards your body. So that's the most obvious one that I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. But we're going to do a couple of different variations of this because internal rotation doesn't only happen in this plane. You can internally rotate with your arms in different positions. And the functions of the rotator cuff, really in addition to that rotation, is stabilizing and holding your shoulders. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to strengthen that subscapularis in this case in different angles. So right now we did this neutral angle, and now we're going to go to our next angle. So now we're going to still do internal rotation, but we're going to do it with this, our arm in this horizontally adducted position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the band here, right, with the height of my hand, with my elbow up parallel to the ground in front of me like this. And now I'm going to work that internal rotation in this plane. So same thing, you want to try to keep your elbow anchored and it just rotates in place. So think of that as just your upper arm twisting to rotate that arm across and inward. Now, lastly, I'm going to externally rotate, but in this position with my arm out to my side like this. So same thing applies. Same height, right? Wrist height, line up the band. And essentially it was like this, except now I'm just gonna pivot outward and have my arm at the side, and I'm gonna internally rotate once again here, and really just focus on just try to keep that elbow in place as best as you can, and pivoting that forearm around. So that's gonna train our internal rotation, that subscapularis, in 3 different planes. So strengthening all different types of angles to help really get it better at stabilizing that shoulder joint. Now remember, your rotator cuffs, they're not a big beefy muscle, right? They're not your pecs or your quads or something like that. So you're not gonna move a ton of weight. So it's gonna be lighter weight and you're gonna progress gradually. But those are the 3 exercises I'm doing right now to help strengthen that subscapularis, which is the muscle that's I'm fairly confident is giving me the problems I'm having. I'm also doing the same exercises in reverse for my external rotators as well. But this video is really addressing my shoulder issue, which is subscapularis, which is internal rotation. So those are 3 different angles of internal rotation I'm doing to help strengthen up that subscapularis. So hopefully that'll help improve my shoulder issue and the popping will go away. In the meantime, not doing pull-ups and definitely no overhead presses. So if you're having any shoulder issues or you know anyone who's having similar shoulder issues, hopefully this video was a little bit helpful. And if it was, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it a lot. I'm just a regular guy, used to be a personal trainer, trying to stay in shape in my garage at home here, and trying to help people at home also, regular people, not trying to be bodybuilders, build some muscle, lose some weight, get in better shape, live a healthier life. So that's what this channel is about. If it sounds good to you or you know anyone who could be interested in it, please share it with them. Sorry, that was a little bit rambly. I'm not a super pro at this. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a great night.